Hi there. My name is Matthew Bruce. I go by the name Phoenix Rising 777 on a lot of different platforms. I stream on Twitch under that same name, link in the description down below. And this is my first video. I decided recently, because of upsets to the norm, that I had an opportunity to create a new norm that I fit in way better than the one that I was in, and I focused on learning about content creation, being an influencer, being a streamer, and I knew nothing about that world. So I was starting to kind of circle around those content creators and starting to kind of consume the content. Now, I would see whispers of people talking about this community and this industry and everything about the vulnerability to depression that a lot of content creators have. And, it makes sense. Their job is to be genuine human beings that connect with people while submitting themselves to the gentle graces of the online masses for approval. So I get why, especially in the now, where the world is shook, makes people feel small, and it makes people feel helpless. And these content creators, they have these audiences that they have connected with. And from these audiences, communities grow. And in this world where social distancing is a thing, and you can't really connect with the, support structures that you might have been able to, these online communities are becoming lifelines. And they're all around these content creators who straddle this weird line between creating advertiser-friendly, business-minded content for their livelihood and being real, relatable, connected, genuine human beings so that they have an audience. And they may think if I start to show these mental health stresses from wading through the toxic refuse of online humanity for most of the day or most of their life, that they may lose some reach and they may lose some value, or whatever their reason. I can understand why it would be a vulnerable demographic. And so I finally have something to say. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a victim. I'm not saying that I'm a victor. I just have a life well lived. I'm not an expert on the community, just kind of been waiting to have something important enough to where I turned on the camera and overcame that analysis paralysis, which I had. These come from a whole bunch of different sources, but this is how, and stuff that has brought people out of that place before. And I thought it might be useful to you or someone you know. Say you've had the mother of bad days. Somebody said something happened to you, like an accident or just something that just, for whatever reason, crawled underneath your skin, just got through every single defense that you had. Like, just somebody said something to you or yelled at you or you got a dressing down at work or whatever. And you went home and it was still there. You tried to distract yourself, you tried to do whatever you could, but it was just there. And all of your normal routines to unwind didn't work. This feeling, this wound, this shake-up, this, trauma. It's surprising People that deal with trauma all the time just have like one thing that they're not specifically geared to defend against, and it just kind of gets through. Let's say you go for a walk. You're about 2 blocks into the walk, and you don't know if your neighbor's home. You don't know if the car is in the driveway or if the dog's out barking. You're back where that person said that thing. And you're thinking of all the things you should have said, or all the ways you should have reacted, or all the things. And one more block later, you're thinking about all the things you're going to do. Oh yeah, all the things you're going to do next time you see that whomever. You're not on your walk. You're still where you were at. But you go round and round, and finally your brain has exhausted itself enough for the present to have a chance of interrupting. And it usually does. Say by 2 squirrels that are wrestling in a tree and they're just going nuts. And it just kind of like shocks you into noticing the present and just kind of like putting that back here for a second while you're like, whoa, look at those. And usually that's all it takes. It slips. You're in the present. You notice the sunset. You notice the sky. You see that your neighbor's home and he's usually not home. And you start, just interacting with and engaging with the present instead of this past that you didn't like and this future that you're imagining. You're here. And this is where all the good stuff happens. Is now. Is here. And it's also a blessed break from all the things that have happened to us and all the things that we're afraid are going to happen to us or hope happens to us. Here is where all things actually happen. So you get out of your own head for that thing. And that gives you kind of a hint on how to do this. John Keats has a poem, Ode to the Grecian Urn. And the last line reads, "Beauty is truth. Truth, beauty. That is all ye know on earth, and all ye need know." If you want to do this in a less serendipitous way, to get to that place where you can actually stop on purpose instead of just having it randomly happen. You can't exactly trigger squirrels on command or whatever it happens to be. Then take a moment and start concentrating on your senses. Start listening for all the different noises that you always hear, and listen for the ones beyond those noises and just kind of bring them all in. Then all the textures, all the colors, the temperature, what the air tastes like, what it feels like to breathe. And just be here. Now that's not enough. You have to oversensitize yourself to what might be beautiful and savor it. Look at things anew. Textures. How light plays on things. And there'll be something that'll kind of be the front runner. And it's really hard to predict what it might be. Keep going until you have a feeling like your heart melts and opens. And when it does, it's because you've connected to something. And allow it. Allow it to affect you. Allow yourself to love it. Admit that you love it. and actively decide to love it. And there's this weird thing about love. The act of loving something and the act of being loved by something feels exactly the same. It's because it's a circuit. Once you're there, you kind of like hit a wavelength where you can be here. And in being here, you can not be in all these places where there is no beauty and there is no stability and there is no meaning. Hopefully this has helped just kind of clear away some of the weight that has been on you or that you've seen on somebody that you can share this video to. And there'll be a lot more of these. And again, I stream on Twitch under the username PhoenixRising777. Link in the description down below. See you soon.